I quickly want to go through the settings in Exploding Fish. Now if you remember, you get to the settings by left clicking on the smiley face. What you get is a box that with various fields in. I just want to quickly go through them. Enable live trading says it comes as standard as false. If you set this to true, so it comes as standard as false. Set it to true means you're going to allow the EA to take trades. It's really just a safety feature to say make sure you've back tested it before, make sure you're happy with it. If you wanted to place live trades, make sure that's at true. The key is where you put in the key code that came with your EA. Make sure you type that in correctly. Again, to access this, you just double click on it and type. These three settings are to do with the amount you want to risk per trade. Remember, there are 4 trades at any one time. The standard setting is this, which means that each trade will have a lot size of 0.1. You can change that if you want to. You could change it to 0.5. Most people want to risk a percent or risk a fixed percent at risk rather than a fixed lot size. So in the example before, we set this to 0.5, which means each trade you'll be risking 0.5%, so overall you're risking 2% for each set of trades. And obviously as your account gets bigger or smaller, that will scale up or down. This last section, lot size per 10k, is a different way of setting it. It's saying change the lot size for every 10k the account gets bigger and bigger. It's an alternative way of scaling up and down. Most people don't use it, but if you want to backtest the effect of that, then please go ahead and do so. Trading in August is set to false. That means it won't trade in August. Depending on your backtesting, you might want it to trade in August, in which case set it to true. It's a personal preference. Again, close trades out on Friday evening. Some people really don't like keeping trades open over the weekend. So if you set that to true, it will close out the trades at 2100 hours. Be aware that that's server time. So you need to check the time that your server is showing you and adjust it to match. And you can tell what time it is if you basically hover over. I'll come back to it, but if you look at the candle, the time it's saying down there is the server time. An exploding fish is, do you want the fish to explode after a fixed period of time? The standard setting for that is yes. Again, if you wanted to leave your trades open longer, you could set that to false. During the box, is this box set to true? If you don't like boxes, if you're anti-box, then feel free to change it to false. Play sound on trade open. Again, if you want to set it up so it plays the sound when the trade is open, just set that to true. And then we have a series of broker settings. Fractional pips, I've yet to come across a case when that would be anything other than true. It's really to say how many digits have you got down here. If your display looks like that and has got 5 digits, leave that to true. Micro account, that really says what is the minimum lot size or increments of a lot size. So a standard account, typically you can have 0.1 of a lot, 0.2 of a lot. With a micro account you can get smaller lot sizes, 0.01. If you want to go lower than 0.1, so you want to trade 0.05 and you have a micro account, set that to true. This is this setting is for a UK spread betting account. If you haven't got a UK spread betting account, leave it at false. If you have, check the way it operates. Some accounts, for example with Alpari, rather than setting staking a certain amount, a certain lot size, you're staking a certain amount of pounds. But do check that on a demo account or via backtesting, otherwise you might be in for a nasty surprise. For the vast majority of people, that will be set at false. If you've got any questions on that, drop me an email. Add stops after trade opened is a really important one. Some brokers, for reasons I don't fully understand, won't allow you to place a trade that includes your stop loss and take profit. So you have to in effect place 2 trades, the one after the other, open the trade and then modify the trade with a stop loss and take profit. If you've got that sort of broker, set that to true. And if you have got it, what will happen is you'll try and open the trade and it will come up with an error message saying invalid stop losses. That really just says set that to true. Local currency TV. This again is to do if you have a Japanese funded account, Japanese yen funded account, and you're trading the euro dollar. There is a calculation which is done to adjust the lot sizes you need into local currency. Normally that's implemented by a setting that your broker puts in. However, some brokers we found haven't implemented that properly, in which case you'll need to manually input a value in here. If you have that problem, then we will tell you the adjustment you need to make. Pretty much that's the current value of whatever your local currency is in terms of dollars. So for leave it setting at 0, we'll use a standard broker setting. If you've got a dollar funded account and because you're funded in dollars and you're trading in dollars, change it to 1. If you've got a yen account, you need to change it to whatever the current value of the yen is against the dollar. As I say, most brokers implemented this automatically. The starting point should be 0. If you get any problems, that is what that's for. Maximum spread says what's the biggest spread that you're prepared to take. If typically a spread size is say 1.6 and you set that to 1.6, and when you came to place the trade, or when the EA came to place the trade, the spread was 1.7, it wouldn't place the trade. So that's a matter of being pragmatic enough to say I'll accept a little bit of a wider spread, but if the spread's something like 3 or 4, I don't want to enter the trade. And then finally the maximum lot size says what's the maximum lot size I'm prepared either to accept personally or that the broker will accept. So if the calculated lot size based on the fixed percentage is bigger, it will round it down to that number. For most people, it's just a matter of choosing this, entering the key in here, setting that to true, and leaving everything else exactly as standard. Hope that's been helpful. Thanks for listening.